All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your mind. Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Gathering of Old Men Podcast. Myself, DT and Milo, talking into this week's event. I want to also welcome Doc Holliday from HBCU Overdrive. It's been an interesting 24 hours. It's been an interesting 24 hours. So let me go ahead and address a few things. Last night, I appeared on the ONG podcast with a panel of Rattlers, and it was a wonderful experience. For those who were there and got to see Troy in all his glory, welcome. And welcome, and I'm sorry. If you were not prepared for that, I'm sorry. If you a fan of schools in North Carolina, I ain't really sorry. I said what I said. Bethune-Cookman, y'all called it straight last night. But again, I need my orange checks. I need my orange check sugar-free soda.
First of all, you talking about they catch strays. We do headshots.
Hey, yo, man.
We don't just shoot. They don't accidentally catch one. It's all on purpose.
Good evening, Emmett. Good evening. Welcome. As always, if you are not a member or are not subscribed to the Fat Mouth Sports channel, watch.fatmouthsports.net. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like, comment. We always look to see what people have to say, what we can do better. And I just like the conversation. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's always good. So again, watch.fatmouthsports.net. Before we get started, we're expecting Edward Waters coach, Mr. Brian Jenkins Sr. Here hopefully shortly. So hopefully we don't have any issues. But a few things happened yesterday. Paige Beckers went off of 44. She is the superhero that we deserve. Now I know that there's a lot of people talking about they need the trade Paige. So
whoa, pump your break. Who talking about trading Paige?
Hey, not necessarily Paige, but they're talking about because of their winning and not winning and all this other stuff. Because they made a bunch of changes and trades earlier. People start saying they need to make more trades. If you gonna trade somebody, trade Paige to Vegas and put her alongside the MVP.
It's the coach. It is the coach. The head basketball coach for the Dallas Wings is not who he is. He's really doesn't have no in-game adjustments. He doesn't do anything right. Like, they're basically out there just hooping and trying to throw up a wing and a prayer. No pun intended. But if you trade Paige, like, that basically saying, like, you really, really don't care about basketball. You don't care about that team whatsoever. So that's why I'm like, no, you don't touch Paige. Paige stays in Dallas. She is going to be a staple of the city. She is very light in the city. So you don't touch that that's an investment right there. You don't touch that investment right there.
That's just like saying trade Jordan.
Right. Right.
That just don't make sense.
Let's trade LeBron.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a watch your mouth. And soon, like, how you even let that fall off your tongue?
Right.
No.
That don't make sense to me.
Will at some point be the best player in the WNBA.
Now, people forget she is a rookie.
Oh no, ain't nobody forgot. Ain't nobody forgot.
Yeah,
But
she heard of.
that that's the highlight of the WNBA. The low light of the WNBA is that the WNBA has blocked the sale of the Connecticut Suns. Apparently, the NBA does not want regular billionaires to own WNBA franchises
Regular billionaires.
because
First,
what you
let's dive into that statement right there. Did you say regular and billionaire in the same sentence?
That's what he
non
said, bro.
NBA non NBA billionaire owners, they only want NBA owners to own WNBA franchises
Basically, they
because
want the NBA owners to be tied into the WNBA franchise. So basically, they can try to get somewhat of a revenue, like stream some type of revenue income into the team.
the problem with that is, well, there's a bunch of problems. So problem number one is NBA owners is how we got here in the first place. That's how we got here in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
So, that's problem number one.
Mm-hmm.
Problem number two is if you just get regular billionaire owners, they're going to do what's in the best interest of their franchise and not the NBA.
Right.
So, in the midst, we got to remember this is in the midst of a collective bargaining agreement. And the WNBA Players Association are trying to play the good PR mode. They're not publicly talking about money or revenue share. They're talking about benefits and services and all of that stuff. The brass tacks of everything is this come down to money.
Right. You got to talk about it. Like the thing about it is, the players are getting paid. The players pretty much are getting paid like almost a teacher salary. Let's just put it just like that.
Yes. Which is a shame in itself.
It's a shame. They don't get no type of revenue sharing off of their merchandise, anything like that. And now you saying to the W that you only want NBA owners to own the teams, which if I'm looking at what G Boone said, it was the reason why they left out in the first place years ago. So why would you backtrack? Because like if somebody it's just like saying to me, that's just like saying if the NBA, like, okay, with the sale of the Mavericks, right? Let's just put it just like this. The sale of the Mavericks. Mark Cuban wasn't he was an NBA fan, but he was a regular billionaire. He wasn't
regular and billionaire.
Right. He wasn't even from Dallas. Like he was from I think he's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh. He's an IT guy.
Yeah,
he's
and he's like just say with Patrick Dumont and the Allison group and everything that bought the Mavericks this year from Mark Cuban. They're not regular billionaires.
That's just like saying the guy who owns the Clippers. He wasn't no NBA guy.
But what I'm saying is that the NBA only wants NBA owners to own WNBA teams. They don't care about who owns NBA teams because those will be, and I know Mother don't want to hear me say this, those are going to be regular billionaires that buy NBA teams. They want NBA billionaires to buy the WNBA because the NBA wants to control the WNBA. As long as they can, exactly.
They got it. They got it built that way. And when you look at how the WNBA operates, under it. Well, they operate within a deficit year in and year out. A lot of that has to do with how they're marketed. And when you look at the NBA and the money that they will put into the WNBA, those numbers are inflated so they can write it off. So all this talk about the WNBA, they lose money every year. Okay, if the WNBA is losing money, guess what the NBA owners that own these teams are doing? They're writing all of those losses off, and it's not technically a loss. It's a wash because they get that money right back from the government. They're subsidized by the state and by the federal government. So they're getting the money back from the stadium, right? Because the stadium is its own operating cost. That operating cost of that stadium is a tax write-off. Just like when you write off your home office, that's literally what the NBA is doing with the WNBA team. So all of the money that people say that they're losing, the NBA owners aren't losing that money.
Nope.
And that's why they
here's the thing: the WNBA been in existence for 28 years, right?
Yeah.
If they've been losing money for majority of the years that they've been in existence, they really supposed to have no. It's really not supposed to have no league.
Listen.
Like, if you really think about it, the W should have been in bankruptcy a long time ago.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Had that Reebok league never went out of business, we wouldn't be here. The NBA would be in competition to run them out of business. Point blank, period. But because that league folded early, Reebok said we don't have the ability to keep this up because they were paying more than the WNBA. It's like we don't have the ability to keep this up. And so they folded that league. But you know,
I mean, but you still got Unrivaled. Unrivaled is
and Unrivaled has nothing to do with the WNBA or the NBA, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. They are doing numbers. The players are making money. They have health and resources, family resources. They're doing everything the WNBA should be doing, and then some. But it ain't gonna happen because you have these NBA owners. But
but you know what the reason why they doing that is because they want to keep their product in America.
Yeah,
they was like, most of these players was like, hey, you know, once the season's over with, like, we have to pack up and go abroad, overseas, like to Russia, to France, to Turkey, to, you know what I'm saying, to these other countries, just to get, you know, make $1 million or $2 million and play, you know, maybe 20, 30 games where you know already played 44 games. Plus, if your team went to the playoffs and went all the way, let's just say you went all the way to the WNBA finals, like that, I mean, you know, in a sense, for a woman, that's taxing on the body. Then you turn around, you only getting a short break. You go overseas and play maybe another 30 or 40 games, and to you know what I'm saying, to get paid, you know what I'm saying, a good amount of money. And then you come back. Once you come back, you know, you gotta come back. You don't have enough time. You're basically, you only probably have maybe like a week or two or something like that, and then you got training camp, and then you got another season with the W.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I don't care the bullets I take for it. If you want to quote unquote make America great again, quit allowing our best and our brightest to go work for gangsters. But I'm gonna move on. Something that caught me off guard, and Doc, maybe you can help me with this. Dallas Baptist University will be joining the Pac-12 as a baseball member. One, I didn't even know they was existing. But
What,
I'm told,
DBU?
I'm told they got a major baseball squad.
Oh, hey, look, I'll tell you like this. So I stay in South Urban. I stay off the loop. Like, well, the loop is right in front of my house, my apartment. So you go south on Loop 12. You continue south and hit Spur 408. You basically on the right hand side, you'll see Dallas. It's literally behind the Powder's house, TDJ Church. So, like, literally, they don't. It's not about basketball. They don't have a football team or anything like that. It is strictly about baseball, and the DBU Patriots have built their baseball team from scratch. One point of time, they started out small. They was NAI for a long time, and then they moved up to NCAA to Division One. They have been the regional. They have been the super regionals. They have a very storied history when it comes to baseball. And for them to go into the Pac-12 for baseball only, that's a huge boost for them as far as financially. DBU is not a big school. It's a small private university. They pretty much have a strict morality code. Same thing like BYU.
Doc, I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Coach Jenkins just got in from practice. I'm gonna bring him on the stage. Well, I'm gonna bring him on the stage real quick. Hey, so I know we teased it out earlier. Edward Waters, interim head football coach, Coach Jenkins. Coach Jenkins, welcome to the show. Glad to get you on the show finally. We've been talking about covering Edward Waters for quite some time, and I'm glad to have you on the show. How are you doing today, sir? Can you hear us, Coach?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I'll go ahead and run that again. It's been an honor to have you on the show. We've been dying to get Edward Waters coverage, and I said this is the year. This is the year we're gonna do it. So it just so happens that my good friend happens to be very, very close to the head of the Alumni Association. Somebody got background. Is that you, Marlo?
That might be me.
Okay.
That might be me. Yeah.
So we got in contact and we said, hey, we got to get Coach onto the show. Coach, I know it's been a whirlwind. Let's start off I'll start with the big news first. We heard about Mr. Bowden joining the team recently. How has he figured into your quarterback battle?
He's doing good. And first, let me apologize. We had a big storm come through here, and our internet was knocked off and all over the place. So finally, it's just not going. But to answer your question, Noah is competing. I mean, he's not the only quarterback that we have. We have two other transfer guys, BJ Higgins and DJ Booney. So it is a true battle at quarterback. You know, Noah has some good tools and some special tools, but those other two guys are just as good. So right now, I mean, they got a couple more days to see who's going to be the guy. So right now, everybody needs to tighten up and practice with detail and see how it all works out in the finish.
So I know, again, and I use this phrase, and it's a loving phrase, but even though you were already there, you essentially just got off the bus as the head coach. What are you looking forward to early in the season with this squad?
I'm looking forward to leading these young men. I mean, they've been working hard. The transition has been phenomenal. The acceptance of the transition has been warming and just encouraging. So I'm really looking forward to see these young men play. You know, next week they've been going at it and giving everything that we've asked. And you know, right now it's just trying to get them to do things with detail and get them to finish. So, but I'm really looking forward to seeing this team get out on the field and run around and do some things and get paid for the work that they put in.
Doc, you got a question?
Yeah. Doc Holliday, HBC over there. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing good. You're going into the first game of the season next week in Savannah State on the road. What are some things that you're looking at as far as Savannah State offensively and defensively wise?
Well, to take it easy on us. Just hopefully they understand I only been in the chair for 6 weeks, and hopefully they'll take it easy on us. I mean, Savannah State is a good program, good, strong program. They got a good, strong defensive line. They got 2 guys on that defensive line that can play anywhere and at any level, and I mean that. So, their defense is going to be pretty strong, and I know those guys over there with G. Punter, the defensive coordinator leading the way. He's a seasoned vet, and I know he's going to have them ready. Offensively, they pose you some threats. They got a big tight end who's last played in the SEC, if I'm not mistaken. He's transferred in, and I'm sure he's going to be a guy who they're going to look to, to make big plays. And, offensively, they like to run the ball behind that big offensive line. And, they got a quarterback that can run it and throw it down the field if they catch you on the play action part of it. So, I'm just looking at a good, solid football team that we're going to be up against.
Also, the addition of Eric Dooley on staff, how has that come about with his expertise as him being a former head coach, with him being a former offensive coordinator? How does that come about with having him on the staff?
Is Eric Dooley on the staff, really? I've heard a lot of that, but I mean, people are going off one picture, but at my practice, I've been calling the plays, so I don't know how people are getting Eric Dooley's on the staff, but if they want to believe that, go ahead. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all sitting there saying Coach is Denzel and he lied his No, Coach Dooley is a wonderful addition to the staff. Me and him are good friends and have often shared, a lot of football ideals offensively. So just having him come over and with his championship eyes and give me some advice on the offense, and with me calling the offense and everything, just his experience alone helps us. So he's able to see some things that I'm not able to see, and he's able to have input on some things that I'm not used to or haven't done. And you can do nothing but listen to him with those things, because I mean he's a seasoned vet, he's an ex-successful head coach. At his time as a coordinator, he's been one of the top coordinators in the SWAC, and in college football. So just having him here on the staff and just being able to be around him every day has helped me as a head coach as well as this program. So I'm excited about how far this thing can go with Coach Dooley.
All right.
Hey, TP, you got any questions for Coach?
I just want to know, how do we go through the off-season process, with the whole transfer portal? How do we get these kids ready in time for the season, especially for the late additions? Right.
Well, the main thing I did is I let the guys know that things were going to be different, I established that right from the beginning, and I wanted to establish the culture that I wanted, and that was going to be here. And they had to make the decision if they wanted to be here or if they could take the culture that was going to be here, if it fit what they wanted to be a part of. And if they didn't like it, they can leave and I can replace them. So, we've had some additions here or there, but for the most part, a lot of the guys have stayed on board and have adapted to the culture and what's trying to be built in the direction that we're going in. Of course, we're going to hit the transfer portal in the future. I mean, that's the nature of college football now. But we're not going to steer away from the high school guys, because we know some of the high school guys that's left out there can be some big time players. So we're going to hopefully do a good job at putting our hands in both pots and hopefully come away with some good players.
How do we handle retention? Okay, it's kind of a two-part question, because the whole, right, the transfer part, you get guys coming in, but how do we manage the retention aspect?
That's an open question, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. That's an open answer. I mean, and it's kind of give and then take and try to replace and hold on to, but lose. You know, if you get a good player from high school, that is a phenomenal player. He plays for you, have a phenomenal season or so. You may end up losing him. You know, and that's the way it is. If you get a transfer guy that comes in and has a good season, somebody's going to be attracted to him as well. So the retention part of it is very hard. You know, it really is. And it almost doesn't exist in college football at any level. So if any coach tells you, oh, we got a great plan for retention, okay, they're feeding you smoke. Because when it comes down to the dollars and it makes sense to those young men and their families, I mean, they're gonna go with they're gonna go in a direction that helps them the best and helps their families the best. So the only thing you can do as a coach is try to give them the best you can give them. And if you can hold on to them, you know, great. But you got to understand that, you know, the better they play, the more opportunities going to come. And that's where you got to be able to adapt and realize that your team is going to be different every year. And a certain percentage of your team is going to be different. So that's where you got to have a great recruiting plan of give, take, and exchange.
Mullo, you got any questions for Coach?
Yeah, I have a question. I grew up in Jacksonville. I was born there. We lived not far from Edward Waters. As you know, my uncle, he's the head of the Alumni Association right now.
Right.
And I'm Jacksonville, Duval to the core.
Duval.
My question to you, Coach, is how has the community embraced you? Like I'm big on the community vibe, and Jacksonville is a community that once you are in the community, you home.
Right. The community has embraced me very well, and that was something that was very surprising to me. You know, and I'm a head coach that I'm not going to hide and duck. I wear my Edward Waters stuff everywhere I go, even to church. And, you know, people come up to me and do you work at Edward Waters? Yes, I'm the head football coach. And then we start a conversation. So the community has been very welcoming, and it's been great. My mornings start off at 6, 7 in the morning with my morning jogs. And I jog through the community. I jog all through downtown. So people get used to seeing my face. You know, Friday nights, twice a month, I walk the city of Jacksonville downtown, and I feed the homeless. You know, so you know the community has been very welcoming, and I want the community to know that I'm part of this community, and so they don't have to think it's anything special to come up and talk to me or get in a conversation or anything like that. And I don't see myself as special. I'm just a guy who's been given the head football job at Edward Waters, but I mean I'm no different than anybody else, and so. I really try to engulf myself in the community and visit different places, different churches and different barbershops and different things like that. I go sit in the barbershop and talk to the guys and laugh and listen to some of the stories that they tell. But they also, I'm going to tell you, it's also an information session. They've taught me a lot about Duval and the people that have come out of here, and the pride that people who are from Duval, the pride that they have. But the community has been very, very welcoming, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that.
That's awesome.
Well, Coach, I'll ask this question because we are a fan-oriented podcast, and we always want to know from the coaches, what can the fans do to help the team win on Saturdays?
Well, come in those stands and cheer those young men on. I mean, that's the biggest thing that we can do, and I'm into increasing the fan base. I don't know why on Saturdays Edward Waters is not the place. We're the only Division II team or the only college football team in Jacksonville. And land mass wise, Jacksonville is one of the biggest places out there, So I want to be able to hopefully attract the community, have them come to the games, stand outside the fence, have it standing room only, and support these young men. Now, in order to do that, we got to put a product out there that makes them want to do that. So, and that's my plan. But, the biggest thing that the fans can do is come and support these young men and watch the effort that they're willing to give to make this program a top tier program.
Anybody else got any other questions before we let Coach go? Because we know he just got out of practice, and I'm sure he want to wind down from a long day.
I got one. Now there's been talk SAC teams are always tough to play, especially when it comes to them playing SWAC competition. We all saw last season what Clark Atlanta, what they accomplished against Bethune-Cookman. Can we see a part 2 of that this season?
Well, hopefully so. You know, I don't want to disrespect the team that I'm playing first, or the teams that we played before then. And I like to keep my focus on the main thing and keep the main thing the main thing. But if we can do what we've been doing and make it a continuous thing, then our expectations is for us to go up against every team and win every football game. So we look at every team the same. We don't look at them any different. We don't get, you know, on a high for one team and on a low for another. And we don't try to pick it up because it's homecoming and, you know, just make the other. I don't believe in special games and stuff like that. Every game is a rival. If you don't wear that purple and orange, then you're a rival. And we're going to come after you. And so I'm going to go after whatever team is on our schedule. We're going to go after them, and we're going to go to war, and we're going to expect the outcome to be in our favor. And that's one game that you know, we're going to look at to doing the same.
So for all of our
coach, I'm going to say this, and I know you can't say it, but I do believe that y'all going to put pause on the Mother Cats down 95, and I do believe I'm going to try to come to that game.
Okay, that'll be good. I mean, I'm preparing this football team for whatever other team is before it, you know, and like I teach this team, stay in the moment, you know, operate off your trained behavior. And, you know, trained behavior should be instinctive. And instinctively, you know, you should be able to react to anything with your trained behavior. So we're going to go into this game, just, you know, go into that game like we're going to do any other game. And we're going to go on into it. We're going to attack, and we're going to attack, and we're going to attack. You know, we're going to go and declare war, and we're going to, you know, plan on coming out victorious in that game just as well as all the others.
So for all the fans who are new to Coach, we know Coach from a while back, and when he was in Daytona, he made quite the noise on FBS school in Florida a few times. Right. So it is not out of the realm for him to knock off a FCS school. I'm just going by his resume. I'm just letting everybody know it's Rattlers in the building. We see what he can do on the other side, and we hope that he does the same thing. But Coach,
look, I'm a JSU Tiger. I saw what he did when he was at Alabama State. So there is nothing that I can't do. Nothing what this man can do at any school, any stop that he been at.
I think it comes down to philosophy and the people that I've been able to surround myself with. I get a lot of the accolades, you know, especially when I was at Cookman, but I could not have done it without the staff. I had a wonderful staff, you know, great staff. And a lot of those guys, you know, have moved on to higher positions as head coaches or in the NFL and different things like that. So it first started with the staff that I was able to assemble. So, you know, it's because of them and due to their diligent work and dedication and commitment and loyalty that, you know, I was able to accomplish those things. And I tell you what, I think I got a good staff here, you know, and hopefully we can do the same thing. And my philosophy is when you hit that football field, when you get on that green grass, listen, everybody's the same. And now with the transfer portal and everything, it's not much difference on some ends. And the thing that I learned in my coaching time, the biggest difference in some of the upper divisions and then the lower divisions, the main thing is nutrition. You know, they got 300-pounders, we got 300-pounders. They got guys that run 4.2, we got guys that run 4.2. Now, we do know they have more when it comes to training and size and different things. But if we can balance out the nutrition, you know, then we give ourselves a chance. And back then, that's what I was able to do. And because of that, you know, along with, like I say, with the staff that I had, we was able to accomplish some great things. So I'm trying to take that same formula and apply it here. And so far, we've gotten good results. And hopefully those results can continue and conquer some other big things that people have seen in the past.
Well,
y'all are
Coach,
my dark horse in the SAG this season. So
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
so in full transparency, we have been looking for a D2 school for the podcast to adopt, and it has been. We are in Florida, so it was natural to go. You know what? We really need to do this. So just so you know, we will be covering your games this year. We're gonna show up to a couple games. We just got to get the schedule worked out. We'll reach out to the athletic department, and we're gonna get out there and we're gonna cover the team because it's in Florida.
Absolutely.
We need to.
And whatever I can do, whenever you need me on, just reach out. I don't know why this shouldn't be a full-time thing, or every week thing. If you want to talk to the coordinators or assistant coaches, just reach out, and I'll do whatever I can do to help you, because like you say, this is a Florida thing. Duval is just too big, too strong, have too much pride, too much talent, not to be on the scene, and Edward Waters should be the scene. So my goal off the field is to make that happen, and I know you guys can help me with that. So whatever we can build a relationship and help each other, I'm open to it.
Say that, Coach.
Listen,
Say that.
I'm doing my part here from Dallas, so I'm start covering D2 football.
So again, Coach Jenkins, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We're gonna we're gonna do our best to make sure we get you on here weekly, because the season is starting and we love the insight. We absolutely love the insight. So Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Once again, I apologize for being late. In the background, this HBCU, they ain't got no respect when it comes to the band and practice. So listen, I can't tell them to quiet down. They'll fire you for that. They'll keep you for football games, but they'll fire you from saying something to the band. So I'm not going to even get, but I appreciate you guys. I really do.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Coach.
All right, take care.
Oh man, that was fun. That was absolutely fun. We're gonna take a quick break. And you know what? I think this is what we should run right here. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, in the background, there is some haymakers being thrown by them D people in Prairie View A&M. I don't know what started it. I'm just an innocent bystander in all of this.
What's Prairie View A&M mascot? What they?
The Panthers.
The Tigers, right?
Panthers.
The Panthers.
Yeah, they Panthers.
Oh.
So we got a bunch of cats. They got a cat fight.
No.
That's just petty.
No. Dude.
That's just petty.
Dude.
It's crazy.
Look, I say this. I keep saying this. Prairie View, you have to get over the stigma of losing 80 games in a row. But I don't think nobody will ever get over that. You will never, most people will never let that down. Now, you got to win games. And you got to be consistently win consistently and consecutively. You got to win every year. You can't let up. You can't have a down year. You have an up year. You can't have a down year the next year. You can't do it, because in order for you to change your fan base, you gotta win. You gotta win. And all the talk, and it's cool. You can have all the talk. You can do all the talking that you want to do, but it ain't gonna be anything until you actually put them pads on and you hit somebody that's other than your teammate. So yeah. And then until then, to be honest with you, we still the big dogs in the swag until we get knocked out.
Cats. Big cats.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what, Marlo?
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
I didn't bring the stream deck tonight because we had coaches on. So I didn't bring the stream deck out of an abundance of caution. I didn't bring the stream deck because I know me, especially in that last interview. If the button, I don't want to mess up our relationship with coaches, so I didn't bring.
That shit was funny.
But so Doc, I just saw something that just came across my timeline while we was interviewing. Hot off ESPN presses. While speaking on Michael Irvin's YouTube channel, Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones said the agreement he believed he made with Michael Parsons would have made him the highest paid guaranteed player other than a quarterback in the NFL. Nobody appreciates Michael Parsons more than the Cowboys or me. Nobody has ever offered him more money than I have to play football, period. First off, you got his rights. Nobody else can offer him nothing.
He's still on the rookie contract.
What do we...
This is, and here we are again with coded language. You know, you gotta peel back the layers a little bit. He basically trying to say you don't have a right to say nothing outside of thank you, be gracious for the Cowboys organization because ain't nobody gave you as much. It sounds like you own them. You might own the team, but you don't own the players. And that's where he be getting it misconstrued. Your boss does not own you. This is not slavery. That is not how it works in the modern world. Yes, you might pay you might cash my checks with your name at the top, but that does not give you ownership over me. And he's basically trying to save face, saying that, oh, we were gonna pay him because Michael Parsons is saying he didn't get paid. His contract negotiations fell apart, which they did. And and no matter what Jerry Jones say, when you have contract negotiations with the player, you can't just say, oh, we're not going to talk about that right now because it ain't important to you. Because clearly it was important to the player. And the deal that he was trying to get done, Jerry Jones said, oh, we're not going to do that right now. There ain't no saving face on that.
Let me just go ahead and say this. You cannot negotiate with a player who has representation.
Even especially the representation that he has. He has David Mulligata. He's a great.
Hold on. So somebody, let me go ahead and eliminate that BS right now. From the time I was born in 52 years, you've had to negotiate with an agent. Period.
It's something about the whole collective bargaining and trying to protect the players' rights, which is why
if you had an agent, some players don't have them.
Yeah, they be wanting you to not have one so they ain't got to deal with them because they know that the agent is going to actually look out for the players' best interests. This is like you getting arrested and then they start talking about plea deals, but you ain't got a lawyer present. But it's the equivalent.
It was the thing, it was the thing. I remember when Dion came to the Cowboys, right? They had that contract, which his contract kind of violated in NFL.
Yes, they was cheating.
He was cheating, right? But he didn't. But Jerry just didn't negotiate with Dion. The late great Eugene Parker was right by his side in that office and negotiated that contract. the way it was supposed to be done. They negotiated a contract to get Dion to come to Dallas. If you really think about it, so you think about it, and just think about it. If y'all go watch the Netflix.
Hold on, Doc, real quick.
Okay.
I know what you're gonna say. Hold on, real quick. This because we like the you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing about people with brand new hairdos, but we
like
also,
I hear what you're saying, Emmett Jones, but the agent was present. If
not
there
only
would have
that,
been some language within that contract that he didn't like, you don't think that he would have pulled Michael Irvin to the side and said, "Hey, this is not very, conducive for you. This is the language that I'm seeing right here. This don't work for us."
on top of that,
Michael Irvin wanted to go back and relay that message to Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones didn't want to deal directly with the agent. That's fine, but you still have to have a lawyer/agent review all contracts. They go to school for this.
On top of that, Michael Irvin was an underpaid superstar wide receiver.
Yeah.
His deal was terrible, and this is why you need an agent.
So
yeah, he should have a better agent.
So if you think about it, like I said, go watch the Netflix documentary, America's Team, the Gambler and his Cowboys. Go watch.
Don't nobody care about no cowgirls.
You know what? We don't care about.
I'm with Danny.
Don't nobody care about y'all.
Hey, you know what? You my best
y'all
friend.
Finna get y'all kicked and down the field all year.
Whatever. Is we them boys again until y'all at 500 in December, and then it's like we'll get them next year?
Nope.
Because that happens every year.
That's them. That's white folks. It's me.
I know some black folks say the same shit. That shit is not.
That part. But no. Go watch the documentary. It's talking about what he did in the 90s. But it just talk about the way that he is. Like even when he negotiated, he tried to negotiate with T.O. and wrote on a napkin and slid it to him. Like, hey, like that's who he is. He feel like he trusts the players. Now, that's the reason why I'm so adamant, like, dude, just go. Get a team to Steven. Just give it. No, for real.
You ain't saying just go. Stop acting like you saying just go. You saying just go and be in some dirt. Let's say the truth.
Oh yeah, I'm about to put some dirt on him. As the dust to dust. Put some dirt on his ass. Shit.
Oh God. Listen,
I'm saying though, man, just turn it over to Steven, man. Just turn it over.
I'm gonna transition because we can't let the Eagles slide because they have a mascot that's been taking shots at Cam Newton for the last month, and Cam Newton has shot back again today.
Cam Newton is goddamn petty as hell. You ain't got one of these.
For the love of God, Gilly, please stop. Like I was with it because I'm with the petty. I was with it for a minute, but he got too many bullets, Gilly.
That's Southside College Park petty right there. That man.
That man did a whole video just for you. You ain't got one of these. You know how petty you got to be to go get your Heisman off the shelf and say, you ain't got one of these?
Does he have an NFL championship though?
Now here she go.
Listen,
Danny, I don't need no problems with that man. Leave Cam alone. Cam.
No, because if Cam want to knuck, Danny gonna buck. Okay?
Oh Lord Jesus.
Holla at your girl, Cam. What you want to do? You got your Heisman.
We try to get him to cover our HBCUs. Come on now, Danny.
He can cover us. He can cover us all he want. I have no problem. As long as he don't get up there and pull a Shady McCoy, we cool.
Oh, please don't do that.
If he pull a Shady McCoy, he getting
Please don't
canceled.
do that. He get canceled.
He getting canceled.
He already said Alabama. I'm sorry, North Carolina A&M.
But he was joking on that. He wasn't serious. He wasn't serious about that shit. He was joking on that.
But I hope so. But before we get AD Matthews on here, again, for everybody that watched the ONG Strike Zone last night, I ain't sorry. I meant everything I said. Eyebrows and chest hair. You ain't leaving the parking lot with your eyebrows. Jesus. That you can bet. Because it's going soon as this clock strike double zeros. Yep.
Well, y'all know I'm gonna hop off so he can hop on.
Okay. All right.
I just had to come and say, hey. What is it? We need to rename this podcast. Gathering of old men and old ladies.
And Danny.
And Danny, because she came in, she made sure she came. I got my new hairdo. Y'all see it.
Hey, listen here. Still got the receipt for it too.
You know what? I'm dead.
I'm so done.
I'm dead.
I'm so done. I'm gonna risk our access. The president was in Atlanta with a new hairdo too.
What president? Maggot Marva.
You know what? I'm gonna go to commercial. We're gonna go to commercial.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna go to commercial.
Hey, the views of the guests
who's
do
in
not.
No. We're going to commercial. No. You know what? So here's the thing.
Him and Markham, Emmett Banks.
I'm gonna say this, and I mean it. I'm gonna say this with my whole chest. You do not want rational fans in the preseason. These season tickets got to sell. These jerseys got to sell. This fundraising got to move. I'm not gonna be no rational fan before the kickoff. It is Florida State by 10. I don't care who don't like it. Florida State fans. AD Matches in the background. We're gonna get him up in 1 second. Florida State fans, quit embarrassing me in front of my people. Quit embarrassing me in front of my people. The athletic department told y'all it is a lay and play sod. We got a whole week and a couple days. They have laid the sod. Shut up. They sent you a message. We're gonna lay the sod. It's gonna be good. All them panic tweets and Instagram messages, the athletic department told you what they told you. Relax. We're going to bring AD Matthews up. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things, Suno. So, again, for everybody, welcome AD Matthews to the podcast. AD Matthews, sir, finally got you on the podcast.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? Appreciate y'all for having me. What's up, Doc?
What's going on, AD?
What's going on, man? Hey, look, thank y'all for having me on here, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I know it's a lot going on, and we're gonna get to as much as we can. So the first thing, we know you got a fundraiser going on. Please tell us about the school needs and how the fans can help.
Yeah, definitely. So we have Suno Give Day. So every year our system does this system-wide fundraiser. So we have 5 institutions in our system. We have Southern in Baton Rouge, Southern here in New Orleans, Southern in Shreveport, the Agriculture Center, and our Law Center. And each year we do a Give Day. And the way you could get involved, and you have the information right up there, man. If you could just go on and go to our website, sunoathletics.com, and click the support button. You'll see where you could pitch in to help us out. But man, this is such a big date for us. This is where we get a lot of our outside funding to help us kind of with giving our kids a better experience. You know, we're not a huge institution, right? But I like to treat the kids, and I want them to think that they're at a big one, right? And so, you know, initiatives like this help kind of lead the way, and kind of giving us some resources to kind of help out.
Doc Holiday, you got a question?
Oh man, what's going on, AD?
What's up, man?
Oh man, as far as the athletic department goes, we see some big gains as far as with basketball, with baseball, and with other sports. Are there any other sports that you're looking to add on in the near future?
Yeah, for sure. As you mentioned, we have men's and women's basketball, we have women's volleyball, and we have men's baseball. But this upcoming year, we'll be adding on men's and women's outdoor track. And track has actually been a huge sport for us in the past, right? And so we're looking to build that legacy, continue to grow as an institution, as an athletic program. And so that'll be the next sports that we bring, and they'll start competing this upcoming spring.
All right.
TP?
Yeah.
I think we might have lost TP. Okay, Coach. So last year, you had a young man on your team. Let's just call him a walking double-double, right?
All right.
And I'll say this, he was undercover. His story should have been a very different story than what it was made. Please tell us where he is now and how he's doing.
Yeah, so that's our real life drama story, right? That young man, special. You're speaking of Too Tall Gibson, right? And so, you know, his whole story is just crazy, right? My assistant coach is actually who found Jamal, right, in an adult league, because that was the only basketball Jamal was playing. He never played organized basketball before, and so coming here, we kind of gave him the tools to go ahead and do the amazing things that he's doing. And I want to be clear that his double doubles are like high double doubles, right? It's not 10 and 10, you know, it's like 30 and 20, right? It's like video game numbers. And so to answer your question, Jamal, right now, he's back here at Southern University at New Orleans. And, you know, I say back here because I get this question a lot, you know, but Jamal never left. This is his home. This is where he wants to be. And this is where we're proud that he's choosing to continue. And but one of the biggest things I'm real proud of with him, not only the things he does on the court, right? I mean, that's everyone sees that, but the type of young man he is, and the fact that he is extremely close to getting his degree. And so that's kind of the biggest thing. And he had a 4.0 last semester. So he's not just skating by, right? As good as he is on the court, he's just as good off.
And I think the thing that I'll go ahead and say, the thing that pissed me off was we had him in our list of stores that we needed to get to. And unfortunately, we don't do a lot of shows a month, so things keep running behind. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, somebody in mainstream media sees his numbers, looks him up, and then creates their own narrative. And that pissed me off. So I had my own little diatribe about how you cover us. Mm-hmm. Because I'll be honest with you. I'm not a trained journalist. I'm not a trained journalist. I am a fan of journalism. And nobody took the time to find out this young man's story before they start running with their narratives. And so I was like, at some point, we got to get this addressed, because from where he was to where he is now, that is the story, not the tattoos, none of that. It is the transformation that is the story.
Definitely. And I think that's one of the reasons why Jamal still continues to go here, right? Because he knows here is real love. It's not the what can you do for me lately, right? I want to see him graduate. I want to see him be an extremely amazing, well, continue. Let me say that, continue to be an amazing father to his kids. I want to see him grow and give new opportunities. And what he represents is so much bigger than just this game of basketball. Since Jamal has been at our institution, you wouldn't believe the type of young men or the type of people that come up to me now and it's like, Coach, I think I want to get into school, right? Because they see this young man, they see what he's achieved. And so what he does is he makes it real, right? And so, and I agree with your first point. I keep working on that. I'm from New Orleans, so I talk a little different. But your first point was that he should have been covered better, and this is something that me and my institution have spoke about at length, right? And because it's he's really bigger than just this game of basketball. His story, his everything. He actually came out with a documentary, right? And his documentary, I mean, everybody done seen it, right? And so he's extremely popular. But I don't want his play on the court to overshadow how great of a person he is. And so I'm rooting for that kid.
Anybody got questions?
Yeah, I have one. Um, AD, I was asking this question, not knowing a whole lot about the university, but how many, let me rephrase it, may there be more of the Jamals in other programs in your school, like maybe not in basketball, but maybe in another sport that should be highlighted and the community as a whole know more about?
Yeah, for sure. So first off, I think all of these kids, right? And people that's close to me know, I call a lot of these kids my little project babies, right? Because what makes my job so rewarding is the opportunity that I'm given to give to these young people, right? And so we have stories like that all across the board. Jamal sticks out simply because he has tattoos all over his face, and and then I told you those numbers 30 and 20. I'm not just throwing that out there. That's what he does, right? So he's on the extreme side, but we have all type of stories in each one of our programs of young people overcoming odds, right? Whether it's the type of family that they have or don't have, right? Whether it's the parent that's struggling to make a baby, or it's someone that tried school, didn't go good, but decided to give it another try, right? And that's why I like to talk about how big Jamal really is, because he opens that door for a lot of people. Some people just give up on it, right? Like, man, I'm not gonna do that. But you see him do it, it's like, okay, let me try it. So that's to your point. That's to for every program that we have, every single program, and that's what's so rewarding about what it is we do.
Jamal, you got a question?
Very good, very good.
Well, I had a question.
Okay.
Hey
All right.
guys,
Hey, TV
I was
going,
trying to
man.
talk a minute ago
I'm
and
still doing
you couldn't
homework.
hear
So.
me. But I wanted to know more about the man. What did you? Let's talk about your path to becoming the athletic director. Like, how did what route did you take, and what did you learn along the way?
Definitely, that's a good question. An extremely unconventional route. So I've started here. I've been at Southern University at New Orleans since 2014. Um, I started here as a volunteer. So I was literally the man cleaning the floors and doing whatever I could do, because I wanted to get into the sport of basketball and in the coaching sense. And so during my time here, my very first year, I met this young man, and young man's name is Kevin Dorsey. So he was, man, when I tell y'all, bro, he was a horrible person, right? Like he did so many things. He wanted to fight coaches. He ended up getting kicked out of school, right? But I found myself being able to kind of calm this kid down a little bit, right? And so that's when it hit me. That's my purpose, right? So it went from just trying to get into coaching to making a difference in young people's lives. And once that purpose hit, I just stayed with it. I worked here for 3 years for free, right? From 2014 to 2017. Then I received an offer to be an assistant coach, and man, they paid me like $6,000, right? But to me, that was everything, right? Just to even receive anything, just to be here. So, and then from there, we lost the athletic program. And so during that transition, I'm like, what am I going to do, right? I spent 6 years here, made what, $20,000 in total in 6 years, right? What path? But they kept me on board, and I played a key role in bringing athletics back to the institution, right? And so once that kind of started, we started the momentum of bringing back athletics, and we started with men's and women's basketball and went that path. But I want to say something about the young man Kevin Dorsey. He is now my associate men's basketball coach, right? And so now, and he has his master's degree, the same young man that couldn't get it right, that had all these issues, and now he's mentoring young people just like him. And see, that's what this whole thing is about. That's why Jamal Gibson's story is important to me. That's why the other people that we speak of that's in this program, that's why we do what we do. And that's why I'm so happy about all of the accomplishments, because I didn't become an AD like most people become an AD. I started from nothing. God saw fit for me to be in this role. So to answer your question, when you say how did I become that, it only God, only, because my certifications, my everything would say, what, this guy shouldn't be the AD. But when you're in the role that God puts you in, when you're in the position He puts you in, man, you're gonna do what you do. And my role is to give these young people opportunities, and that's what we're doing.
I love that. I loved every bit of that. And I also appreciate the fact that, you say their name. You know what I mean? Because the name matters.
Mm.
When you're born in this world, the only thing that you get is a name. And everything you do with it after that is up to you. And it's just very inspirational because it's not about where you start, it's about where you're headed. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm taking an unconventional route myself. Like I went to the military, I've been working, now I'm a father of three. And my end goal is to be a football coach, at whichever level God lets me get to.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you started, that was your dream. That's what you wanted to do. You're exactly where you wanted to be. So, I appreciate that.
For sure.
Danny, can you please put that up in the chat so we can add that to the screen? Thank you. So there are congratulations in order. Did she add it to the chat? So AD Matthews was just named Rice Fame Group. I want to make sure I say this right. MAKEDA, Excellent Award, Men's Basketball Coach of the Year. So we want to congratulate you there. It seems, and I'm going to say this, awards are amazing, but the fact that God has already given you the reward makes it pale in comparison. So it feels like we're telling you congratulations when you already know how blessed you are. It just doesn't seem to weigh properly. So again, from us, congratulations. We definitely, from our end, we have made the commitment, like we told Coach Jenkins earlier from Edward Waters. We have made the commitment to start putting highlights on sports that aren't covered, because I freely admit I'm Florida State, but I'm a FAMU fan. And so you always get people covering Florida State, covering FAMU. You don't get people covering Suno. You don't get people covering Edward Waters as much as they should. And like I said, this story, I knew I needed to get to this story, but time just kept getting away from me. And it wasn't until I got pissed off and I just had to sit here and go, as Black media, at some point, we're going to have to take responsibility for our own stories. And so that's our commitment going forward. We're going to take responsibility for our own stories. So if you see me fighting back on Twitter against nonsense, that's why. I'm the problem. I can't just let something bad go by. I don't have the inner peace to let somebody say some foolishness and not say something. So going forward, I think it is our responsibility to make sure we cover our own, and we will do that. Also, we know there are fundraising needs that need to be taken care of. So we will, from our end, make sure we highlight and try to get as many eyes and as many dollars to y'all as possible.
Definitely. I appreciate that. And to what you were saying, we're very similar, right? Because we felt, and Jamal is just one of the stories, but there's so many stories and so many achievements that these young people are doing. And we felt it wasn't getting enough coverage. So we've been trying to push it ourselves, right? And we've been trying to let people know. I mean, we speaking about the athletic things that they're accomplishing, but my kids are killing it in the classroom. Like we've had in the past 2 years, we've had 4 NAIA national scholar teams, right? We've had led by our men's basketball team with a 3.46 GPA. We've had we've been back-to-back champions of character, 5-star NAIA national award winners. And that's from servicing the entire student. So that's from our kids getting out in the community, doing things, service learning, being great teammates, just everything in the whole package, right? And so that's one of the things I'm hugely impressed with from my little project babies, right? 42% of our student athletes on the conference honor roll. And so numbers like that to show that these kids are not just doing what they're doing on the field of play, but what they're doing in the classroom, what they're doing in the community. We're just slowly trying to reshape that thing and get everything rolling in the right direction and encourage more young people to join us and just keep finding new ways to give opportunities to do things. And so that I wanted to highlight that as well, because these kids are just given the opportunity to do things. That's the only thing our kids are missing, the opportunity and then the confidence, right? Because we spoke about where they come from in certain areas or what they've dealt with in their life. That's what leads to that lack of self-confidence, right? And false bravado. So we tear those walls down. Like, you're no different from me. You know what I mean? Like, this is how, so these kids know that I'm speaking from a place of truth, right? And so they could see it, they recognize it. And when they're given the opportunity, they are more than achieving. I could go on and on about that, man, because we have an internship program that we've kicked off, and our kids are learning how to do broadcasting, and we've gotten a very special donation, you know what I mean, that and that has helped us along the way. And our kids that learn how to do broadcasting, doing journalism, they were chosen to host and broadcast our championships for our conference. They were also chosen to represent for the Black College World Series. So we're giving different avenues for our kids to learn, grow, and develop. And we want our kids to get jobs right out our internship program, because those are the type of connections we're trying to make. And so it's a million things, man. I'm gonna let it go, but what these kids are doing, I'm so proud of that, and that's why I speak about it as like I do.
Well, I want to thank you again for taking the time to come on to the podcast, because it is always about these kids' stories, and the fact that we're able to hear from you about the young men and women. Thank you. we will definitely, like I said, this is going to be a monthly thing where we come in and check in, because I know there are things we're going to miss, but what happened last year won't happen again. Not on my watch.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Coach.
And I appreciate y'all again. Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Yes, sir.
Anytime you need something from us, just let us know. If it's a fundraiser, if somebody we need to highlight, let us know and we'll get it on the air.
Sounds good to me. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach. Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll get back to the foolishness. We will get back to the foolishness. I have 4 years of film on reasons why Florida State is not going to return my emails. And I completely understand that. That being said, what? Y'all act like I know who I am. I know what I said. I don't care, but I know what I said.
But you want to be this good guy. You that guy. You that guy that, oh, woe is me. They picking on me. And you done told you want 100 to march down this man's street. You said you want to send moving vans and put a for sale sign in front of his house that he live in. I don't want you to be rooting for my team like that. Not like you root for your team.
Not like that.
You root for your team different.
He might be the worst fan in the history of things. And still is.
I just want to say, y'all gonna quit talking to me like I just have no reason to say the complaints that I have complaints. But before I get to all of that, Freddie Stevens has a interview with Coach Norville. Freddie Stevens has done an amazing job covering Florida State he's been covering Florida State for a while. But his last two interviews, Coach Norville, Jimbo, he knocked them out of the park. Like, if any time I would celebrate a player from his transition from athletics to normal life, he getting it done. He knocking it out of the park. So, Freddie, shouts out to you. The people who said they didn't believe in you, fuck them. But that being said, listen.
Oh, back to the bullshit now.
All right,
we get right back to it.
Hey, you need to add a tag that say the bullshit hour.
Yeah. Listen, for us Rattlers fans who have been waiting on an announcement,
we'll get that announcement in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're not gonna get that announcement until we get to Miami. Like, I'm convinced.
I'm talking about whoever go to the game, whoever lines up, see you be like, oh, so that's who it is. That's that.
Yeah,
they hadn't said shit. They hadn't said nothing all camp. Nothing about nobody.
And when
I just
it was
hope he know that the 220 Club ain't gonna let him flare this down
at all. And
so say, when y'all start the 220 Club?
Oh, they started.
It's already back.
Oh,
he on there again. Coach.
Listen.
Oh shit. Oh,
listen.
Try to get the deep people over there.
Listen. Y'all got other things to worry about. Don't be worried about what's going on over here.
Hey, that's the line in the sand. Y'all leave 220 Club alone.
We like to listen to it though, for real. Like, we don't even be petty over there, man. We really do like listening to the 220 Club. Yeah. I guess the thing is, some folks we want to support. You know, some folks want to support other platforms, and then there's other people that just want to hear the bullshit.
I'm gonna say this: the one thing about the 220 Club, for what they ask you what you need, and then they get it for you.
You get it the same day.
They supposed to. They the de facto boosters of the school for
Listen,
the athletic department.
the 220 club is the grandma and the. Yeah,
they're
go
not
ahead.
DSOs, so they can
Yeah.
move a little different.
Different, yeah.
Than the actual booster program because they
Right.
not DSOs.
So they coach, and I know people don't like me to bring up Coach Craig. Coach Craig went to the 220 club. He's offhandedly mentioned some iPads.
That's why that shit he said pissed me the fuck off. That man asked for 4 iPads, a MacBook, and a flat screen TV, and the order was placed before he finished his speech.
So
But we didn't support though. That's the shit that pissed me off.
the 220 club is, for those who don't know what the 220 club is, the 220 club, the 220 quarterback club, because every school has a quarterback club. But the 220 quarterback club, they are like your uncles, your grandfathers, your grandmothers, that anytime you got straight A's in school, you had $300 in an envelope. That's who the 220 club is.
Yep.
And
I get that. Man, I'd have fuck around and been awake in school.
But God, that's in a sense, that's pretty much what they are.
Yeah.
That's the old lady at church that say, your mama told me you made president's list and she gonna slide you not a little bit of money,
Slide
but a lot of money.
you a couple of $100.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
My church ain't do nothing but ask for money.
Where's the disclaimer at, man? Where is the disclaimer?
He ain't saying nothing wrong.
You in control. I'm about to say you're in control of the disclaimer.
Oh God.
I forget. We don't like facts.
No, that's not it, TP. That's not it. We're in a new.
But I want to say this: I do not have anything against churches.
No, not at all.
That it is partially a business, and that tithing is what keeps the lights on. It keeps them able to do the missions and everything else. I understand that. I'm just saying I've never heard of the incentive for doing well in school.
Oh, so hold on. I want to make something clear. My mama and daddy did not believe that you go to school and you get good grades that they're gonna pat you on the back and say, "Adam, you," and I quote, "You supposed to do that. That's your job." My aunt, on the other hand,
is that the
a little something.
That giving you some money?
Yeah, they are. Slide you a little something every night. God bless the dead anime. Slide you a little something. Hey, here you go. Don't tell nobody you got that.
Exactly.
And she meant don't tell nobody you got that money. So
that was your business. Now move on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that the 220 club is definitely gonna have words with Cozy after the Orange Blossom Classic about not announcing, because the entire Rattler Nation is looking for that.
It's 27 quarterbacks over there. They better pick one.
Listen,
we're gonna talk about this stuff. We're gonna talk about this MEAC swag challenge.
Yeah, so
I couldn't even hear what they was talking about on the press conference.
So
who paid for that? The MEAC.
Oh man. So all right. There was the MEAC SWAC press conference that apparently me and Doc was in the press conference. We could hear there were some echoes. So we don't know. Like, I have a laptop that I use on this end, so we don't know, and they have commercials and stuff that they run. So we don't know what the issue was. But I saw, because I like to see the chat, I saw somebody from, I don't know if it was somebody from FAMU that posted that they had no sound. And so that was a concern. But it was a very vanilla press conference. I did not ask a question on purpose because I just wanted to hear.
So you didn't want to rock, you didn't want to shake the boat over there, but you do everywhere else though.
Are you talking about with the? Oh, I ask questions.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get a feel for what was going on. But since it's week 0 and it is this Saturday and we don't have a show, Well, we'll discuss that later. But as of right now, we don't have a show for the MEAC SWAT Challenge. Here is my thought process on this SWAT MEAC Challenge. Everybody is very heavy on North Carolina Central. I've had Mr. Campbell say that he can talk offline to take my money. And it's a lot of people that are very heavy North Carolina Central. I want everybody to know that that team that went to the playoffs with Davius Richards, that ain't this North Carolina Central.
Nope.
And when I go from I don't know ball Troy, media Troy, to I know what to look for Troy, and I start looking at, oh, you say this is the I go to look at game film. I go to look at stuff that I know from Little League football up through high school, quarterback play. That's what I look for in game film. I'm looking for, can he make all the throws? Does he have a strong arm? Does he have a medium strength arm? Does he have touch? Does he have all these things? I look at game film.
And how well does he respond to adversity?
I'm gonna
that
get
is
to that.
The biggest determining factor for me when choosing a quarterback, because everybody can look good in shorts and a t-shirt. Yeah. What you gonna do when stuff break down?
So
because we've seen, and like, you know, I can use this to compare, you know, some NFL quarterbacks just so everybody knows who I'm talking about. You know, let's look at Sam Darnold, right? Last year, the Vikings had an amazing year, but I've watched him since he was in college. And the same mistakes that he made in college are the same things that he did in the pros, especially last year. He looks good when everything is working. When things start to break down, you start to question, well, why is he even the starting quarterback?
So
all right, hold on. Everybody, hold on for a second. I just want to make sure we keep everything on track. I'm specifically talking about because everybody was heavy on North Carolina Central because they have a veteran quarterback. Last year, look at the stats. The stats does not say I trust my veteran quarterback. That's not what the stats said last year.
So the stats last season was the fact that he had a running back. He had a all-purpose, do everything running back, a 3-down back that had over 1,000 yards in rushing and a couple of 100 yards in receiving. And you know what I'm saying? I think it was double-digit in touchdowns, rushing and receiving. So it was basically what I asked Coach was, I didn't get to ask him that. I think that was Wayne that asked him that your bell cow was Jamari Taylor. He's gone. He's at Virginia. So what is it about your team now that you can go from Jamari Taylor to whoever you got, you know what I'm saying, replacing him? And if you're doing running back, you know, you're doing running back by committee, that's to me, that's actually going to put the ball more in the hands of Walker Harris.
I'm okay with running back by committee when you have a quarterback that's able to make these intelligent decisions, especially when the game is on the line. Because a running back by committee, that means one of two things. Either you don't have a running back or you got a bunch of really good running backs. And in both scenarios, I would prefer to have a quarterback that's going to be able to handle the pressure, you know, that's going to be put on them if the run game isn't working. Right. Because if you're going out there and you think that, oh, we about to just run it down people's throat, you still got to convert third downs. You still got to keep drives going. Is he able to do that? And when you look at the history, he hasn't been able to. So it doesn't matter who's in the backfield. Because if you have bell cow running backs, yes, you can lean on them. You better lean on them. But he is still going to have to make plays if they're going to be elite. You're going to win some games just based on the defense and the running game. But at the end of the day, if you want to be a great team and at any level, your quarterback play has to be better than the quarterback play on the other sideline.
I'm going to say this. Chennis Berry is at South Carolina State.
Mm-hmm.
Chennis Berry put him in a position to say, if your quarterback is who he say he is, make him make plays. That didn't happen. If their quarterback, and I don't want to say that he doesn't have the talent. I'm talking about the trust that the coach has in the quarterback, because I don't blame players for what happens on the field. What happens on the field is based on preparedness and the coach putting the player in the best position to make plays. If that player cannot make those plays, that's a reflection on the coach. So I'm not making this about Walker Harris. I think Walker Harris is in a position to be possibly MEAC Player of the Year, but they have to throw the ball. Chennis Berry is not going to allow you to just be one-dimensional and beat him. So that was my only thing that I was saying. And I think a lot of the people got confused in what I'm saying. The one thing that used to be amazing in the 90s about black college football was our quarterbacks.